Welcome to this episode of Been There, Done That. My name is Patricia Baronowski-Schneider, CEO of Pristine Advisors, investor relations, public relations, and media relations and marketing firm with over 3 decades of experience working in a wide variety of niches across the globe. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about a little pet peeve about does anybody want to work anymore? Because it does seem that nobody wants to work anymore in the world that we're living in. It's actually funny, I saw a sign on a fast food place and it just said basically something about due to handouts, nobody wants to work anymore, therefore we're short staffed, so please be patient with the staff that did choose to come to work today, and remember to tip your server. They did show up to serve you. It just seems to be the thing everywhere. I know automation's taking over everything. Trying to get a real person even on the phone is just not a simple task. I have a timer on my phone and I've literally wasted over an hour waiting for someone to pick up a phone for customer service. And even when they do, they'll tell me, oh, we have to connect you to somebody else, and then they'll drop the call. It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, seems to be the new world that we're living in. Even going to a store, you wait on this long line, you're scanning and doing your own groceries or your own products, you're bagging them yourself, and there's people that just stand there, they're getting paid to stand there to help you if you have a problem, and all they do is scan a badge. What did that do for me? Like even going to one store, I went there and there was no price tag on something, and I remember saying to her, well, excuse me, there's no price. And she said, well, if there's no price, you can't get it. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, that's your answer? And she just said, well, is that the only one there? I said, I don't know, I'm here with you. She said, well, like I said, if there's no price on it, you can't get it. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, even going to my bank. I literally went to my bank. They've closed down several banks here, but I went to my bank and they basically told me, you don't have to come here, just do it online. And I was like, okay, but isn't that like job security for you? Their attitude is just go and do it online. Unless you're depositing actual cash, you don't physically need to be here. And I'm like, this is just the world that we're living in. There was a store, I don't want to name names, but where there was a customer service, you can always ask for help. And I remember I'm looking up, it's a huge store, and I have to walk several. I mean, it was a huge process. They didn't have what I was looking for. So I go back to the customer service, and she basically tells me, basically to go all the way to the other end of the store to see if maybe they had it over there. And I'm thinking, you don't know what your store has. You can't check the computer and see. Anyway, I go all the way back. I check, and of course, they don't have anything. I go back to the customer service, and it was just insane the way their attitude was just like, oh, well, do you not want to make money? I just don't get it. So anyway, people always say, well, the world's going to be taken over by robots or, AI. But think about why that's not always feasible. Not to say that that's not where the world is going to, but that's not always feasible. So say, for example, how many people do you know have wound up in Facebook jail for posting something? Now, I get it, but I don't get it also. So say, for example, on Facebook, there's various groups that are for, just giving an example, there's various groups for almost like a free cycle where you can post something that you're looking to buy or something that you're looking to sell. Or even investor groups where you're posting for something where you're seeking investors, or you're an investor seeking something to invest in. Many, many groups on Facebook. So sometimes you'll post the same, like I had one client that was looking for funding for a specific project. So I belong to maybe 10 of these groups. So I'll post the information in maybe 3 or 4 of them, and then I wind up in Facebook jail. Now, those of you who aren't familiar with that, basically the AI robots, they see you posting something repeatedly in various groups and right away block you until they get around to investigating whether or not this is not spamming people or not scamming people. And I'm like, the purpose of these groups are to post this. That's why you have them. And that's what I'm doing. So I don't understand how this is an issue. But this is the world that we're living in now. Now, when I mention these Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case may be, groups on social media where you could post this or you wind up in Facebook jail or your Instagram gets hacked or whatever the case may be, I have my personal accounts, but I also have business accounts. So when you wind up in Facebook jail, for example, that could be weeks. Now, all of this time, that affects my business groups as well. So yeah, just words of the wise, you might want to use different emails and create different platforms, one for your personal, then maybe a different email for your business, however you want to do it. But because what that does, that affects me now for weeks. And the sad part is there's nobody that you can talk to. As the title of my post says, been there, done that. I can assure you that in my 35 years of working in the industry, I've done it all, and I've learned from many mistakes. I've learned so much, and I can help you do what works best to get your story in front of the audience that matters most to you. Contact me to learn more about my story. You can find out more about me on my website at www.pristineadvisors.com, and that's EDVISERS.com. You can also contact me by email at pbaronowski@pristineadvisors.com. You can reach me by telephone at 631-756-2486. Until next time.